think we're on. Yes. Welcome everyone. Give me 1 second while I make sure the stream is working. I think we're on. Yep. Here am I. Welcome everyone. Give me 1 second.
Hello.
Make sure
good
the
evening,
stream is
good
working.
afternoon, good morning.
Yep.
And welcome to the Pixels March update, March 2020 evening. Good afternoon, good morning. And welcome to the Pixels March update, 2020 evening.
Give me 1 second.
Good afternoon, good morning. And welcome to the Pixels March update, 2020 evening. So,
1 second.
on the menu today, we have status update, the Pixels March update demos. So,
1 second.
on the menu today, we have status update, the Pixels March update demos. So,
1 second.
on the menu today, we have status update, one is March update demos. So,
1 second.
on the menu today, we have status update, one is March update demos. So,
1 second.
on the menu today, we have status update, one is March update demos. So,
1 second.
on the menu today. All right, so status update, one is March update demos. So,
1 second.
on the menu today. All right, so status update, one is March update demos. So,
1 second.
on the menu today. All right, so status update, one is March update demos. So,
1 second.
on the menu today. All right, so status update, one is March update demos. So,
1 second.
on the menu today. All right, so status update, one is March update.
This should be better. Is this better? Sorry for the delay and the problem. Yeah, it's better? Working good? Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm by myself today, so I have to pay attention to the chats. Sorry for the delay in seeing that. Okay. Yes, so now there's only this microphone. Perfect. Very good. Okay, so status update, show and tell, questions, and then feel free to leave or stick around for a dev stream. Today we'll be doing some coding, specifically some firmware coding, adding a little feature to the dice that's been requested. I want to see how that goes, if there's any sort of interest, and if there is, I'll do more in the future. I really would like to do more content and sharing more of the work. So we'll start the status update with the most upsetting news. Unfortunately, there's been a few quality control issues with the dice that have been received, and so I want to address that. There's a few examples here of issues with I don't know, some weird specs in the dice, or problem with the case, problem with the lights, etc. Here, I'll play this one again. And so I want to talk about this some more. If you have any such issue, don't hesitate to contact Luna at Game with Pixels, and we'll send you a replacement. This is things that are happening. We're getting better at it. We're learning how to do better quality control. So please reach out if you have an issue. We'll send you a replacement. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but do not be afraid to reach out. The most upsetting part is actually with the few Onyx and the hematite that I haven't actually made it, but that have issues with the ink. So this is something that I thought was fixed already before we started even shipping the small numbers that we did. But there's some issues at the factory with how they're doing the ink. They're either doing it, putting way too much and the light barely shines through, you can see on the picture on the left, or they don't do it enough and it's kind of splotchy and it doesn't look so great. I've had plenty of samples that they sent me that looked really, really good, but somehow this is what ended up coming out. So unfortunately, I had to ask them to, pull basically all the dice that they had already sort of, completely finished. As you can see here, this is very heartbreaking, pictures. A bunch of D20s completely, just in bags because basically none of them are good enough. And so they are in the process right now of cleaning them, double checking the light issues because there was also some small light alignment issues on some of those. And then they will redo the ink, with the proper guidelines, and hopefully they use the correct combinations of tints. But yeah, it really sucks, right? Like this picture is like there's like three or 4,000 dice in here. Yeah, and so they're gonna have to fix them, and it's not an easy process because they have to remove the ink that's already there, but they know how to do it. It's just as usual, more delays because of issues, and more quality control needed. So for instance, in this case, I made sure to give them like really good examples of like what's good, what's bad. And how to fix it. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because that's the bit of upsetting news this month. And so what this means for orders that are pending is that only this month only 600 orders are going out. It was supposed to be many thousands, and because of this, there's a bunch of orders that, have the other dice ready to go, but the onyx and the hematite are not ready. So, unfortunately, it will be next month. If you have a die that has a significant issue, like I said, please contact Luna at Game with Pixels. I am putting together the backend for us to be able to send you replacements. Outside of the batch shipping system, so you get it sooner. But I haven't finished that yet, so unfortunately, you're still waiting for me basically. But it should be ready soon, and then we'll be able to send you replacements. And this essentially affects kind of a little bit of everything. So if you paid for split shipping, for instance, you'll still receive your singles, before the sets. That hasn't changed. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, the onyx and the hematite are just being a little difficult, unfortunately. On that note, I will actually switch to more exciting news, and give you some production updates for the rest of the dice, some pictures, and then some, fun stuff to look at. So, production pictures, yes. So for instance, this is like, checking the quality control, right? I was just talking about, I just felt like sharing this. This is a screenshot of a presentation that I received, right, with like all the details of them checking the alignment of like the coils on the clears, which is the only one where you can really check, but so that we get a good sense of, how well the factory workers are aligning the coils, right? So for instance, here you can look down on I think this is a D6 on the left and a D12 on the right. And let me see, yes, and so yeah, we're just making sure that everything looks good, etc. Let me switch to a slideshow for more production pictures. So you've seen this environment. This is at the factory that makes the dice. Start with, yay, a bunch more electronic boards ready to be cast. This is, for instance, worker, actually like removing the sticky tape backing from the flexible circuit board and putting them together. These are some midnight D20s being made still, because, there's a lot. This is, our molds, the red things here, a bunch of molds on the factory floor. I'm not sure what's going on with this tarp over here. I wonder if maybe they were having a small issue there. But anyway, all the molds for the other sizes. This looks like, no, actually this is still a D20 mold. Let me see, yeah, but there's, more dice being made. It's a resin factory, right? So there's often kind of a messy environment. But all in all, it's actually really, really good. These are some D12s, for instance, being cast, some Onyx D12s. See, this is before inking the edges. And on the dice like the D12, it's less, less noticeable when it's not inked, but even here you can see, for instance, this face here, the 11, you can't see it unless it's like facing the camera. And that's why we want to do the inking, but it's very delicate because of the, it still has to let the light through and look nice and all that stuff. But anyway, so more pictures of them putting together, the dice, the molds for casting, right? So they put them in these big compression, I don't know what you call it, jigs, to cast them, make a big mess of resin. I don't know why. When they cast, here are some Auroras, some Onyx over there. These are D8s, Auroras, just a bunch more dice. And I think that's kind of it, right? Anyway, their production is happening, but there's one step that's causing us a little bit of trouble. So hopefully we'll get that resolved shortly. We're working on, making sure they do the right thing, and then hope next month we'll have a much better, much more exciting, shipping update. So if you're one of the few lucky ones that do get their shipment this month, congratulations. For everybody else, I really apologize. It's going to be yet again a little bit longer. I know you guys are, both tired and used to it. So all I can say is thank you again for your patience. And, we're going to make it right and, make sure the dice are as good as they should be. So in order to, keep the sort of update portion short, I'm gonna switch to the next section, which is just a couple reminders, right? We're still planning to open the store for pre-orders for non-backers on April 15. I will be sharing a lot more information about that in the coming weeks for people who are, interested. We're not going to do a huge marketing push until, basically we're more closer to having fulfilled all the backers. But if anybody wants to take advantage of pre-order pricing, why should we stop them, right? So as of today, the plan is to not change anything, open the store for pre-order for non-backers on April 15th. And again, if you have any issues, email Luna and we'll try to take care of you. That's most of the important stuff for this update, right? There's really not a whole lot. There's nothing specific for anybody to do. Just stay tuned. We'll give you more updates as things are shipping, or if you need to do anything. But otherwise, I'm going to move on to sort of a bit of a show and tell, showing some of the awesome things that people have done with the dice. The lucky ones who have them in hand have been able to do some really cool stuff. And I'll also show an update on the Pixels app, and sort of show what the dice can do, what the app does, etc., just in case people have not had a chance to look at it. All right. Let's start with the Pixels app. So I'm going to switch scene to the dice cam. Let's see how this one works. Yeah, this is correct. It looks like it. Yep, you see my hand. Okay, cool. Let me move this one out of the way. Whee! Turn my phone on. Oops, sorry. There we go. Open the Pixels app. Update available. Oh wait, is there? Hold on 1 second. No, I'll keep it. I don't trust app updates. All right, let me move it over here maybe. No, over here. There we go. Just give me 1 second. There. Does this work better? Yeah, this might work better. Okay, there. And then zoom out. No. Can I zoom out? No? No? There we go. Okay. Boop. We'll do it this way. Actually, we'll do it this way. Yeah. Sorry. 1 second. There we go. Perfect. All right. Okay, so I have a die here. Is it this one? Bob? Yeah? Where is it? Oh, is it here? Is it on? Connect. All right, that's okay. We'll just unpair this one, unpair Bob. We'll pair these D8s, for instance. There we go. Pair 4 pixels dice. You can see them, they are getting updated over here. Fuck, I'm gonna want to change my password. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. Yep, thank you. Totally used to, yeah, thank you for that. All right, so for instance, right here, you can easily now update all your dice. Right, it's telling me like, oh hey, all dice need to be updated. I will do this. Which is a boring feature, but it's one of the most important features of the app, clearly. And the dice are currently, doing the status updates. So while this is happening, I will talk about, it's coming. No, I'll just wait. Oh, this is long. All right. Which one updated? I don't know. This one? Yeah, this one. Yeah, you can see it's even flicking white, as I roll it, and you can even see the number being updated. The second one here. Just 1 second while we do the other ones. This guy I will deal with later. I'll just grab a different one. Presentation quite big. Okay, cool. Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, I probably could have closed this. Huh. Interesting. All right. So let's add a die. Yeah. Let's add this guy and this guy. Pair those 2 dice. Yep, they're getting connected. So anyway, so the basic feature of the app obviously is, managing your dice. Here again, it's telling me, hey, I should update those dice. So, I'll say like, hey, yes, update firmware. How about that, right? And can I close while it's happening? Oh, I can't. Oh, that sucks. Here, stop updating. We wanted to finish the current one. Yes. Cool. All right, we're stress testing the app. How many dice can you connect at once? So it depends on your device. On iPhone, it's we've tested up to 15, I believe. It also depends on which model, so it depends. On Android, I've only been able to connect 7 at a time. But this was with a slightly older model of Pixel phone, so because the landscape of Android devices is very different, I can't say for sure. But yeah, it's something. It's not a requirement of the standard or anything like that. It's entirely up to the manufacturers, how many devices they want to be able to connect at the same time. Resolutions cutoff. I'm not sure I understand that. UMOP, can you explain what you mean by resolution cutoff? Is there a problem with this stream? Streaming Handless isn't catching your whole stream. Oh. What? Let me check. It looks good on YouTube. And what about Twitch? Image resolution. Not sure what's going on. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna continue the stream because things look pretty good on at least YouTube. What about Twitch again? 1 second, let me check on Twitch. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I mean, it's not the best resolution. Source, 720, why? Oh yeah, my apologies. All right, this is looking more and more like a dev stream, not a pre-recorded updates. Okay, so, whoa, come on, stop focusing. Here, I'll do it manual. There you go, okay. Come on, there we go, okay. Let's see, can I get the phone better? There we go. Much better. Okay. All right. So anyway, so one of the things you can do with the app, obviously, is you can you can select your dice so you can do things, and as you select them, they light up, which is fun. I always like this for some reason. It's so silly. But anyway, but then you can actually, of course, change the profiles that you can put on your dice. So for instance, this is a specific pattern that I called magic, and I am going to upload it to this die. And so now, when I roll this die, hello, oh, not this die, this die? No, these dice are not happy. Oh, I think I have the wrong firmware. No, 1 second. Live demos, always broken. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. I will kill the app. There we go. Oh, you saw my TikToks. And let me actually update the firmware. Whoops. So I'll switch to a different app that lets me update firmware on my dice. This is all preview stuff. Can't see me. Oh yeah. Oh, camera is not tracking me well. Oh, hi. That's so weird. Okay. There we go. Now it's working. Actually, let me turn off this stupid RGB blinking. Exit. There we go. Okay, cool. And now if I switch back to this guy, let me turn this off. I don't need this here. Switch back to this guy, go to the app, bloop, and I connect to this buddy. Okay, cool. And now I can activate this profile. Tell me who that was. I forgot. This one. There we go. Okay, yeah. So I was because I'm working with a pre-release version of the app, and there's a firmware required to work. So anyway, all right. So we sorted that out. For you guys, it'll be way easier. But yeah. So for instance, this is a fun little pattern that shows. I don't know. I called it magic, but really it's, you know, just purples and blues. Let's create, for instance, or let's use some of the other ones, right? So there's obviously this one, it's more like, I'll just call it AAA because I don't care, fountain. Okay, and it's updated, right? And so this one, it's kind of like the opposite of the one that comes by standard with the dice, which is just, yes, if it goes something like it goes wrong, that's right. Right, so this one, you know, there's kind of like a pattern going up. It feels like, you know, I call it a fountain of water. And the color is dependent on, you know, which face is being rolled. Let me show you a few different ones because I had a great time creating those before. I really like this one, the high-low. I always have to put a name. We're fixing this actually. I really shouldn't have to do that. But yeah, here for instance, right, it shows you the die. It shows, you know, you can activate the profile, which I'm going to do on my die. And then you can actually, you know, modify the rules, right? So here, for instance, you can see that well, I don't know if you're able to read it, but essentially, you know, you can select like, hey, when the die is rolled, you know, and the face is 20, it plays a certain animation. When it's, you know, on any of the other faces, for instance, we play a different animation. And there's a few parameters that you can control yourself, or you could, you know, change the pattern, select a different one. There's a bunch of categories that you can use, you know, you can sort of look through. These are all the ones that are sort of already generated. And I actually forgot what it was. I'm going to leave it. But yeah, and so this one, right, it's supposed to look like a burning fire, right? It's kind of like red amber at the bottom and kind of like white at the top. And, you know, and it also sort of like continues to shine as you're sort of shaking it, right? And so as you roll it, it kind of has this shimmery effect. It's really nice. Let's look at a couple other ones. High-low is one of my favorites. Create, activate. Yeah, I'll put it on this one. This one, it's really simple. It's either red or green, you know, if it's above, you know, 10 or not. And it just has this nice little like transition from blue to red. Oh, come on, roll high. There we go. To green or to red, right? So if it's positive, it'll, you know, flash green 3 times with this nice transition. And if it's low, then it'll, you know, it'll go red and it has sort of this flickery tail to it. Let me grab a different die so I can show you that all these profiles actually work on all the dice. I'm gonna have to update the firmware on one of those. Okay, cool. So let me grab this one. D12 here, update. We're gonna update the firmware. Anyway, so, you know, once you, yeah, that's safe mode, exactly. There's lots of fun stuff that I'm realizing with the light patterns. It's really nice to have the dice kind of lit up sort of all the time as much as possible, like when you move them. And it's really nice to have lights at the bottom for a number of the dice, like the Midnight Galaxy or the Aura. It means that you can still have the light, but you can still read the number, because those have the inverse issue, right? Of like when they light up, you just can't read the numbers. And so, here, hold on. I'm just going to, there we go. Okay, cool. It's ready. There's, yeah, lots of like interesting ways to use the lights that are, you know, on top of just like a cool pattern on the dice. Here, let me add my D12 pair. There we go. And there it is. So here's my D12. Of course, you know, the app has, you know, tracking features where it shows the roles appear, right? All right, 3, 10. Pretty soon there will be histogram available. There's a bunch of features actually I'll go through in just a minute of, like, you know, the plan features, the roadmap, etc. But anyway, so for this one, I'm going to make a pattern for my D12, and I'll do, well, I'll start by like doing the same high-low, right? High-low, and I'll call it whatever. I don't like this. We're going to change the way this works. But anyway, and so, you know, by default, it says the rules are, if it's, you know, from 12 to 7, it's the green, and from 6 to 1, it's the red one. So this is nice. This is a sort of a nice new feature that the what was I going to say? That the app allows now is that you can make profiles that, you know, are not specific to the actual die shape, right? Anyway, so this is one. There's another one that I really like, and then I'm going to move on. Wait, no. I want to do new. I'll do it for a 20. I just kind of like it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, warm. I like warm. Anyway, doop, create and activate on the 20. There you go. Right, so this one, the pattern is kind of like a really, you know, progressing pattern. I don't know, it's just fun. And the color is different, you know, based on what you roll. Anyway, so yeah, these are, you know, some of the features of the profile system. There's a lot more to it, but, you know, we could be here for hours. I am going to end here and move on to the next demo. So let me look at the questions really quickly, if there are any. I don't see anything here, so let's move on. Okay. For my next trick. Oh yeah, Apple knees. You should, if you got an email from support or Luna, you can just reply to those with the issue. I'm seeing, yeah, you had something with DHL. Yeah, just write Luna. If not, or I think you should be able to reply to the email. But either way, we'll make sure that, yeah, that everything is correct so you can receive your package. All right, so let me switch back right to left desktop. There we go. All right, so yeah, a few, you know, of the app roadmap features. Oh yeah, I see this is not catching the right size of the screen. Now I understand what you're saying. Transform. Oh, isocors. Yeah, all this time. Now I understand. Oh well. The pictures. Okay, so the app roadmap. Yeah, so a few of the features that we have planned are the brightness control system. Actually, this is what I'm going to try and implement today. There's a whole new animation system, so you can author animations more easily. I didn't even go into, you know, creating specific animations. I really only just showed like how to customize existing ones, or, you know, put rules for your profiles. We'll have a feature to import, you know, like images, basically, to define your patterns for the LED colors. This is something that needs a little bit of thought, you know, in order to make it as easy as possible on mobile devices. Of course, you know, being able to play sounds, you know, import your profiles, you know, the whole bunch of like cloud-based stuff, essentially, right? Being able to like share a profile or a pattern or something, a creation. And then we want to put together, maybe not exactly call it a character sheet, but more like a formula screen where you can type in, you know, rolling formulas, specifically with multiple dice, so that you can just, you know, have rules and trigger patterns based on results of multiple rolls. But yeah, so that's kind of the near future of the app. On to more things to show and tell. So like I said, there's been like really, really awesome work from developers, especially you know, on our Discord. And so I wanted to take a second to show off or to mention a couple and actually show one in more detail. You know, the first is a Discord integration. So this is using webhooks from the app, which is one of the things you can trigger on rolls. You know, Olivier with Blalasadri, sorry for butchering your name, your handle, with his help, was able to like get the dice to actually post to a Discord server. So that's fun. We certainly want to make that more easily, have more of a native integration, but at least the proof of concept is great to see. So using your dice in Discord. The second is, again, from the same developer, Blalasadri, a demi-plane integration. So I haven't had time to check it out myself, actually, so I can't do a live demo of it. But I'm really excited about it. Demi-plane has a lot of platforms, I mean, not platforms, but IPs, or what do you call them? Games that it supports, which is really nice. If it looks a lot like D&D Beyond, that's normal. Speaking of, the one integration that I want to actually show today is the D&D Beyond integration by Carrier Fry. Again, one of our great developer on Discord. So let me do a real life demo, which will work perfectly. All right, D&D Beyond. Hold on, let me grab the page. I will put it here on, whoops, there we go, on my screen. And actually, you know what? Let me switch screen so I can show you the dice as well. So 1 second, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here. I'll move it over here. I'll switch to this desktop. Yeah, do not judge me on my character build, please. This is a test that I ran to show off the dice. All right, cool. So let's see, maybe I can zoom out a little bit more. So you get a better view of the dice. Hello. There we go. Oops. Move over here. There. Oh, that's pretty good. And oops, I'm gonna have to fix the focus. There. Focus. Come on. Oh. Autofocus. There we go. Okay. There. All right. Sorry. I'll stop touching it. Okay. So, you know what? Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Much better. Okay. So, yeah. So Carrier Fry put together this extension for Chrome, right? That then hooks up to D&D Beyond, and you can see I have a button here now to connect to Pixels. and it's already showing a number of dice. So it shows, oh, I'll probably have to disconnect the phone actually. So here, let me, yeah, there we go. See how they appear. So there's a bunch of dice. Mine don't have really exciting names, but they're all here. I'm gonna add this one and continue. I'm gonna connect as many as I can actually, and then we'll see how things work. There, connect. Is there anyone? Yeah, Bob. Yeah, of course we can make Bob. Although Bob was the one that was not updated, I believe. Let's see. All right. So, Bob, yeah. Okay. So now if I go here, it thinks I have, no, I should have more than this. Come on. Disconnect. Let's see. Hold on one second. Is it? It's not seeing my D8s. White. Where are you? Where are you? Let's try again. Let's reload. Okay. 1d8, 2, 3d8s. Yeah, there we go. Hey, 4d8s, 2d20s. There we go. They're appearing. Oh, is it a zoom? I have a thing that lets me zoom in on the screen. Does that work? No? Hold on one second. You might be able to see it. One moment. Tools, script. One moment. Where is it? Zoom to mouse. There we go. Zoom factors, D1.5. Okay. Will this work if I do? No? No? Oh, one second. Oh, zoom source, there it is. Display capture, there we go. Nope, still not working. 1 second. Hold on. Hotkeys. Zoom. Hold on. Zoom to mouse. There we go. F2. Okay. All right. And hey, there we go. Much better. Yes. I'll be posting the link to the extension, but right now the best is to go to visit our Discord, and there will be a bunch of information. In fact, that's something I want to really work on with the website, is have post all these extensions and link to all the the repos or anything like that, tutorials, guides, etc. But anyway, so here I am with my my dice on my character, and I can just very easily say roll. I don't know. Let's do Constitution, right? And I want to roll with Pixel. And I don't know if you can see from the picture, it's blinking Pixel dice. So I can actually roll one. Oh, this one is the bad one. Damn it. Let's roll this one. Right, and it saw that, oops, I actually rolled an 11. Plus 4, it gave me a 15. Right, so here, custom roll, right? If I haven't clicked on anything, then it just, shows me what I rolled. But if I, right click, roll with Pixel, then I roll this die, right? It tells me 18 plus 4, 22. And this is, this is great. This is exactly what I want. If you need to roll, for instance, something with advantage, so here, let me do that again, and say advantage, roll with pixels. I'll move the camera over here, right? I can roll 1, well, that was a 20, and 2, and then it shows me, right, the actual results. This is fantastic. Of course, if I roll 2 dice that actually work, not this one because it's busted, then it will actually take all of them. Oh, you know what? I got a better idea. I'll grab those D8s. So let's say, where was my D8 stuff? I had this thing where I had a bunch of D8s. Action, bonus action. Oh, I wanted to roll something with D8s. Come on. Unarmed strike. No, no, no. Spells. Thank you. There it is. Ha. I got one. Yeah, let's see. 5 D8s. Oh, perfect. 4 D8. There you go. So if I want to roll this one, right, with pixels, it again lights up all the dice that I need to roll. And then I just roll them. Oh, what was the custom? Oh, there's 2 rolls. It caught a second roll somewhere. Let's try again. Let's try again. Oops. So, yeah, there's, there it is. 6 plus 6 plus 7 plus 2, 21 for damage, right? So there's still issues with roll detection. As you saw, sometimes it detects incorrect rolls. I know that Kara Fry himself actually put a feature to like try to reduce false positives. Here, we're gonna try it. But also, I've been sitting on the code to improve the dice rolls in the firmware forever. And in fact, it may be, yeah, see, it just thinks I'll just roll the die here. Bunch of rolls. In fact, yeah, I need to actually put that in the real firmware and improve the results for everybody. But yeah, this is just really, really fun. There we go. 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6. So yeah, I wanted to show this because I think it's awesome. There's tons of ways to do it. There's 2 ways to use the pixels. You can actually right click like I did, or you can enter the pixel mode and then you just actually click on the item and just roll, and it will do the lightning arrow damage, right? Which is fantastic. I think it's, oh, I just rolled an actual wisdom check, which is not what I wanted. But anyway, so yeah, it's almost as good as a first-party integration. I think there's lots of things we can do with this. It's going to be really, really fun. So anyway, let me move to the next part, which I believe is just going to be some dev stream. So let's see. Where is my presentation? There we go. I want to go back here and I want to say any questions? Oh, wait. There we go. Whoops. Questions, yeah. So I'll go over the chats, see if there are any questions that I have not answered yet, and I'll try to answer. And then otherwise, I will take a quick break and move to a dev stream. So let's see. Let me go over the questions really quick. Will it affect the shipping date that has been communicated last month? Yes, unfortunately. At least it sounds like it will be fixable. Yes. Jean says, I am very sad. This is bumming me out. Like I thought this was a solved issue. We're talking about the inking issue. Yes, now I understand the comments about the presentation not being shown. Yeah, I fucked up. Sorry, I messed up. Yeah. So sorry about that. I'll do better next time. Check DMs. Yep. D6 can't be allowed. Watch change your passcode. Yeah, I know. All right. Let me see. Things not going as planned. Yeah, I mean, live demos always like that. Fix the focus. Yeah, so many things. Support. Yep, that's better. You're like, we did it. White pixel, yes. I really want to make a white pixel. Obviously, I need to make sure all the dice that we currently have for production are finished. But then, yes, I would love to do more colorways. More complex. Thanks for the info. Let's see. Okay. Making sure. Character build. Concerned with all this. How much help am I going to need getting all of this set up? Since I cannot see what I'm doing. Blind manpower. I really hope that you won't run into any of these issues. Like I said, I was working with pre-release app that didn't automatically do the things it's supposed to do and all that nonsense. So you probably still rely heavily on screen readers, but at least we're building the app to be screen reader friendly, which the previous prototype version wasn't at all. So hopefully it'll help, but yeah, it's going to be a problem, or not a problem, but it's not always going to be easy. We'll do our best to make sure that the dice are accessible. Let's see. Extensions. I think I saw someone asking about Roll20. No official extension yet, but there are unofficial ones coming. We're trying to get an official one happening. Let's see. More people talking. If you selected split shipping with a pipped D6 and a set, are they basically going to ship at the same time anyway? Pip D6 and a set. No, they will not. You will still receive your Pip D6 before the set. Any chance for the Pip D6 to ship with the sets and the D20s can ship earlier? I've thought about that. I may be able to do something about that. I have to see how many orders that is. That's really the only thing. But possibly we can do that. Yes, Roll20 proof of concept, histogram, yeah, stuff features for the app. All right. How are cases coming along? Yeah, still, you notice I didn't share any pictures of the cases. I'm actually receiving a package today with the latest iteration. Okay, and then will the D&D Beyond integration work alongside Beyond 20 extension? Yes, I believe it already does. Carifry can, yes, exactly, you can just confirm it. It already does. Awesome. He's fast, yes. All right, any additional sets planned for the future? Any without the D20? Yes, but I don't know which ones. Honestly, starting with the non-backer pre-orders, I'm actually going to cut down on the number of sets on offer, and then maybe re-add different ones later. Ideally, you would just be able to build your own set, but as of yet, have no way to make that logistically easy, right? Essentially, where every set is custom packed for you, and that's a little bit of a difficulty. STL for the cases. I know I always say I'm going to do it and I never do it. There's really no reason that I haven't released those other than I just haven't. I want to. I'm not trying to keep it secret or anything. Clearly you guys know I share as much as possible. I just never get around to actually doing a clean export of all the different files. like for the dice or the cases. But it's really just because I've been, you know, overtasked and then just always push it off and push it off. Let's see. Yeah, making a SKU for every combo. Yeah, no, the build your own set thing is an issue. Like you can't ship the dice naked in a sense. So it's not like you could just build a combo as a bundle, right? Build a set as a bundle, but also doing any sort of fulfillment, like what do you call it? Like bundle building at the fulfillment center is way more expensive than pre-packaging stuff at the factory. So it's, yeah, it would affect costs, it would affect just logistics in general, but I'd like to find a solution because yeah, most of the time people just want, you know, this one set with this, you know, this different or that different. You want to see it in person so bad. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm doing everything I can. Like I said, you know, we're slowly but surely knocking down all the problems and all the issues. But, you know, it's just hard and it just takes a while. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to be like a bummer, but yeah, it's you know, it's tough sometimes because yeah, it's like, oh, I thought this was solved and we're good to go and I can, you know, share good news with all the backers and everything's awesome. But you know, shit happens. Sorry, stuff happens, and you know, yeah, it knocks you down a little bit. But again, like I said, this is not the first issue that the dice have gone through. For those of you that, you know, follow from the beginning, you know, remember the Bluetooth antenna shenanigans a while back. That was a big, you know, a big problem. It's all resolved now, but you know, it just again took us some time. At the end of the day, it's all time. You know, we're persevering. You know, obviously not giving up, making sure everything is you know the way it should be for you guys, because you know ultimately we want the product to be good. But yeah, so hopefully you'll get those really soon in your hands. I will be sharing more information about the store order, pre-order for non-backers next month, and I think I will switch to just doing some development now. I think, unless there are any more questions, I guess you can ask them while we do some work. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be an interesting test. I'm going to be doing a little bit of firmware code, just to show what it's like, you know, show what development is like. There's going to be a lot of information that you guys are going to need, right? Context is what I'm saying. I'm trying to say. You know, I'll do my best to explain what's going on, but of course, you know, it's a big project, and so it's, you know, not always going to make sense. Let's see. Let me switch back to this. Close the presentation. Hello. Bye bye. Bye. Save. Yes. Thank you. Is the mouse thing still working? No? Okay. Let's remove, I think maybe we'll move this out of the way. Yeah, actually, we'll focus on something else. All right. So, it's so funny. You can see there's a die here. He's just still blinking, just blinking away. And there's this thing, which you can see on screen. I don't know why it's such low field of view. So strange. There we go. But this thing here, this is a circuit board. This is a D20 one. flat. Oh, sorry, focus. There we go. This is what's inside the dice, right? It's folded up, all up nicely. This is the wireless charging coil over here. There's the counterweight over there. There's no battery here because I don't need it for development. I programmed the dice with a, what's it called, like a JTAG thing. Can't see it. The thing is not long enough, but here, if I move this, whoop, there we go. This thing here, it's like a little JTAG debugger thing. Doesn't really matter. What it means is, it allows me to download code directly into the microcontroller chip that's on this board here. Rebel, how far is the new animation system before release? I know soon. Yeah. So the firmware side is actually almost all done, but we didn't make the change because we wanted the app to be able to actually take advantage of it. And there's way more work on the UI side, right? Like something that in the firmware is just a color on the UI, requires an entire infrastructure to be able to, select a color and different ways of selecting a color and, doing all this stuff and editing and undoing and copy paste, whatever, right? Like just UI work. And there's a number of things like that need to be implemented UI-wise that are not trivial, especially if you want to make it, user-friendly. And so it is at minimum another month, I think. Hopefully there will be, early versions of it available in the next month, but yeah, it's along those lines. Let me open, there we go, the code. All right, so let me show you what we're going to do today. If I can grab my phone and type my passcode. Oh, crap. Can't believe I did that on screen. All right, so let's say I use one of the dice where was it? This one. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So if I use this die and I go to, right here, my bad. Can't see the screen. Yeah, okay. So if I use this die, go to the profiles and say I want to put this profile on there, right? So I activate it on my die. It's happy, and it's doing the thing. Great. If I edit the profile, there is a slider up here. I don't know if you can see this, for brightness. This is a feature that Olivier added to the app so that we can have brightness level per profile, and there's even one per let me think, for the app as a whole. Let me see, where is it? Settings, app settings. There we go. Global brightness in the app settings, right? So you could sort of have a global thing for all the dice. And unfortunately, it doesn't do anything because it's not supported in the firmware yet. So what we're going to do today is basically implement a global brightness in the dice firmware so that when I say I put it on 10% and I activate it on my die, it actually turns the brightness down to 10%, which obviously it is not currently. Oops, here. All right, if I move it over here, it's exactly the same. Even if I switch it back to 100%, right, no difference. So this is what we're going to try to implement today, and we'll see how that goes. Let me go through chat really quick. Brightness. A lot of people happy. Yeah, I know. It's The two big firmware features are roll detection improvements and brightness slider. I wanted to start with the easiest one because the roll detection improvement is going to be a little bit more involved. And so, yeah, I figured something easy today. See how, how I do streaming. And again, I lost the mouse zoom. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Okay, good. That works. Let's see. Maybe I need to move this a little bit smaller while I do actually work. Okay, great. All right. So the dice, they have a microcontroller in them, and this little microcontroller that does all the smarts and the Bluetooth and everything. It's programmed in C, C++. I call it C+. With a little external dongle that I was showing just earlier. And that's the dongle when I have access to the app. Otherwise, it has to happen over the air with Bluetooth. But for development, it's much faster to use, a naked board, do your work, and upload, download. You also have access to like a serial console for debugging. And then once things look like they're working, then you can actually just bundle the firmware and do an over-the-air update on an actual die. So this is what we're going to do today. This here is Visual Studio Code. It's only probably the most popular development environment these days. If it's not, then it's probably second to like Writer or something like that. But it's really nice because it supports all these different languages. And in this case here, I'm looking at the wrong one. This is the JavaScript code. So let's go look at the correct one. Make sure. There we go. Okay, you can see everything. Great. Whoops. There we go. Dice firmware. If the font is, font size, okay. I shall do that. That's exactly what I was thinking. It was going to be too small. There we go. I think this will be better. Dev stream. And this can go here. Okay, so the first thing I will do is just build and program this board here and make sure that, everything is working. So I have a nice command line thing that lets me, run the right tools to do the right thing, to build and compile and then download the code to the board that's connected. So it's, doing compiling stuff right now. There's files for all the different sort of like components of the dice, right? There's like stuff for controlling the LEDs. There's stuff for here. Let me see, drivers for reading the battery level. There's some things for reading the accelerometer. There's things for reading the temperature sensor. All kinds of stuff, right? There's obviously a bunch of stuff for Bluetooth, animation, etc. There's lots and lots of portions. This code, by the way, is actually commented code. You're so funny. It's on GitHub. The Pixels GitHub. You'll find the entire repo for this. It did not work. I think maybe my board is bad. Let me find a different board. Let's grab, I don't know, D8. Let's try D8. A bunch of different boards here. Okay. Let's try a different board. Oh, wait, no. Oh, it does work. Oh, it is working. Okay, cool. It's like the default profile. Doesn't really do anything, but yeah. Okay, yeah. So it is working. Cool. Yeah. All right. Okay, so Excellent. Let's look at the console output. Where's the serial monitor? There we go. Let's put it. Oh, I need more room. Oh, people. No. Can I put it over here? Maybe. There we go. It needs to be bigger. J-Link, start. And if I shake it, there we go. It's telling me what it's doing. All right, excellent. So this is some of the debug messages that I'm outputting from the firmware. It's going over the little connector here and all the way through the USB stuff. And it's telling me that it's playing animation in 5, whatever it has a set of animations. And it's telling me what face it's playing the animation on, because it will modify the indices of the LEDs based on what face is up, right? So if that makes sense. So let's now go look. For instance, this message is in the behavior controller, where are you? Behavior controller, there we go. All right, so let's see. Triggering a battery. There's a bunch of code to trigger the different, the actions, right, based on what's going on. Pixel initialize, no. Connection event, battery state, roll state change. There we go. And so now, this, for instance, is the code that checks the events from the accelerometer, right? I should say the accelerometer controller, right? The thing that determines which state the die is in based on accelerometer reading. This hooks onto events sent by that other module, and then determines if it has internally, like on the profile, if it has conditions that match, right? So if, for instance, you program a condition to trigger an animation based on a certain face being rolled or a certain state, then this was basically what makes that happen. And so, for instance, right, we have different states, and then eventually, when we get to this one, face compare condition rolled, right? Then we go check trigger, and it says it checks, yeah, it checks its internal rule against what the accelerometer is saying. And if so, then it says, yep, the action is triggered. And then, back in this function here, if the condition was met, then it activates the action associated with the condition. Most of the actions are to play a certain animation, but sometimes it's triggering the web request or playing a sound, right? This is initiated by the die still, in a sense, right? Saying like, hey, I have an event of some extra special type. But anyway, so triggering actions is where we actually perform the actual specific action based on a role. So for instance here, right, we check the type of action that we were told to trigger. And if it's a play animation action, then we go and actually, find the animation and start it, essentially, right? Which is basically putting it in a queue for another module, the animation manager, to actually process and update over time and do all the things. So here is where that happens. We have the log, the info message that we saw in the console. This is where it's being triggered from. And it's doing all the math for, remapping faces so that everything works. All right. Yeah, and so then this other action, run on device, is a generic thing for, oh yeah, you're supposed to do something that the DAI doesn't really care about, but the app then will know what to do with, right? So web requests, play sounds, voice chat, all that stuff. Cool. All right. Then what we want to do then is essentially be able to modify, the animation handling to handle this extra brightness, right? This was kind of context for, how we're triggering animations. Really, we're not going to touch this. We're going to actually just touch how animations are handled and played, so we can take this new brightness into account. So animations is the first thing I'm going to look at. There's an entire folder, right? If you know anything about, sort of like object-oriented programming, it's essentially a small little class hierarchy, right? There's a base definition of what an animation is, and then there's a bunch of sort of derived versions that implement specific types of animations. So for instance, there's an animation that is just a simple blink on and off, right? We don't need a lot of data for this, so to not waste the precious ROM flash that we have in the dice, we store only the info that we need, and so for those we end up storing custom animation data. We have other patterns, for instance, that are noise-based. So there's an animation type where it lights up the LEDs in a random pattern based on some noise, right? Based on a random value and random function generators and stuff. So it's never the same, actually, but you still need some sort of control over the colors and the things, and so each sort of like type of animation has its own parameters, and this is why there's like a bunch of different classes of animations. One, for instance, here, the gradient one, it actually uses keyframes like color keyframes and there we go. Okay. Color keyframes, and it interpolates between those. There's an animation type that allows you to combine other animations, right? So you can say like play this one and then that one, or play them together, or that kind of stuff. So a little hierarchy of classes for animations. But what we want to do is be able to take this brightness parameter into account, no matter what the animation is. And so the way we're going to do this is essentially by applying the brightness, at the time when we look at all the animations that are currently playing and determine what actual colors to send to each LED, right, every update. I've done a little bit of work ahead of time, actually not me, but Olivier did, to make sure that the data that defines this brightness is actually passed in to the dice when we program a new profile. So if I go look down here in the profile, where is it? Dataset, data. This is what we call it in here. Don't ask me. We change names over over time. But anyway, so this is the data that gets serialized and downloaded onto the dice from the application, right? When we put a profile together with conditions and then animations and all that stuff. I'll skip a lot of the details because otherwise it would take too long. But we conveniently have a special brightness data bit of data here, right? So what will happen in the app is that when you have a when you have a profile being transferred to a die, it will grab the brightness from the profile, multiply it with the global brightness of the app. That way it's convenient. And it will pass that into the data that is sent into the dice in this brightness value. So let's say, for instance, we're going to do something cool. Let's say that we receive a profile. We're going to print the value of the brightness in the console. That's the first thing we'll do. So let's see where we receive the profile data. Let me remember where I do this now. Data set, no. Data transfer. Data set, there we go. All right, so there's a bunch of code. Again, doing a bunch of stuff. See, for instance, this is receiving a data set, which again is the same as profile. And here you can see, for instance, right, it's like writing a bunch of stuff about what the data that it's receiving. And so what we will do next is we'll just add here a log info, because I want it to print all the time. Brightness, and look at that. I don't know if anybody can see this. This is Copilot. It's so brilliant. I just need to tab. Yeah. So among other things, in Visual Studio Code, I have GitHub Copilot installed, right? And it's the thing, the AI assistant, or whatever you want to call it. It's like the IntelliSense ++, and it just knew that I wanted to write the brightness value, right? So actually, I'm going to change a few of these debugs to infos so we can tell, some of the stuff that's printed. I'm not going to change all of them because it's going to be actions, rules. There we go. Okay. So now, make reflash. Okay, there we go. So now I'm reprogramming this board, right? And then I'll connect to that board with the Pixels app. Whoop. I should give it a funny name, but that's fine. All right, so it started, D20, yep, pair. It blinks, meaning it did see that I am talking to it. Here, let me make this a little bit bigger. There we go. And then go back over here. Okay. Yeah, that should be okay. All right. So for instance, right, it just thinks it's a regular die. So if I wanted, I could, activate this on the die. There we go. And supposedly there we go. Right, if I move it, make it think it's rolling, it'll play oh, it's not enough. There we go. It'll play the pattern, right? So now if I go back to the serial monitor and I look at the information that was printed, so let's see, this was from before, and then I reset it because we were reprogramming. There's some initialization stuff that prints, like the value of the power supply, the flash memory information, some stuff that we can find. It's telling me the board type. It's telling me that it was just a fresh programming, so it doesn't have any data. Yada yada yada, a bunch of stuff, right? It thinks it has a good battery. There's no battery, but we're faking it with this little adapter. And then I don't know why this one was here, but it doesn't matter. Then we got connected, right? The app connected to it. We played the blink animation, I believe. This is when the app says like, hey, blink, to indicate that you've been connected to. And this is what we just enabled, right? We are programming a profile. So now, if I modify it and I change the brightness, let's say right now it says 25. Oops, sorry, 25. There we go. And I activate it on my D17. we have brightness of 64. There we go. So because we're scaling, the percentage from 0 to 255 to have more, more resolution, a quarter turns into 64. So this is great. It means the value is coming over. Awesome. It does nothing. Oh, wait, no, that didn't work. Brightness 65. Oh, wait a second. This is wrong now. 65, 64. Why is it wrong? If I go back to here, activate. Huh. It did not update it. So there is a bug. I wonder where the bug is though. If I cancel and I go back, edit, and I activate brightness 255, yep. And if I do 0 and activate brightness 255, okay, so it looks like it's on the app side. I'll have to let Olivia know. Like it's not detecting that I changed this value for some reason. So, a bug, but in a different place. Top 64, it's you, it is you. All right, so, but that's fine. We'll work with this for now. We can just, exit the screen and go back in for our test. So I can stay focused on working on the firmware. Let me just make sure another value works. Edit. Let's say if I do 9%, activate. Yeah, 23. Okay. So yeah, that's all it is. It's just not catching it after I change it the first time. No problem. All right, so we have the data. We verified that it's coming in. We, can download profiles. It's all cool. We even have debug output. Everything is awesome. Now we just need to implement the actual feature of taking that brightness into account. So like I said, there's a bunch of different ways to, compute animation for each individual LEDs. There's a ton of different animation classes in a sense. Excuse me. And so it'd be kind of a pain to, go and edit every single one of them. And so that's not what we're going to do. We'll actually handle it, at a higher level, in a sense, or lower, depending on how you look at it. But basically, at the time when we apply the data returned by the animation. So let me explain what I mean. Animations here. So hold on, let me scroll that down. Animations have basically, a few functions that matter. And the main one is this update LED, which, takes in a time in milliseconds, and then it returns, a set of LED index and color, right? And the color is RGB, like in ints. And so it does its internal math, however it does, like the random, the noise uses the random number generator, and it has its own thing. What do you call it? The gradient type of animations do their interpolation, etc. They do their own math, and they just return, okay, for this update, for the time that you've given me, right? These are the LEDs that you need to turn on, and these are their colors. So naturally, what we're going to do is just, add an extra step after we ask the animation what to do, and actually modify the values. Excuse me while I rehydrate. So this happens inside a module that I call the animation controller. Yay, right? That's a nice thing of working in a firmware land, is like overall, the structure is very simple. It's just, a lot of little modules, that are all doing their own thing. Like, so there's one thing, the animation controller, it's updated all the time. And it has a list of animations, and, it handles them, turns them on, turns them off. And in turn, talks to the LED controller to tell it, hey, turn the LEDs on, and these colors and those colors. And then in turn, the LED controller, has its own logic for, massaging the data in the format that's, correct for sending to the LEDs, and also a little bit of other, housekeeping stuff. But in this case, the animation controller essentially has an update function that we're going to modify. So if I go to the animation controller code and grab the update, where is it? Update. There it is. There we go. It does a ton of housekeeping that, I'll sort of skip going into, because the details don't matter all that much unless you are interested in working in it. But it, in essence, just iterates over all the animations that it has currently running, and updates the time and asks each animation what LEDs it wants and what colors. And then it tries to properly remap the LEDs to the right values based on the way the die is facing. And it does some other, blending. For instance, if multiple animations are playing at the same time, and it tries to, two animations try to control the same LED, the animation controller tries to basically arbitrate and decide what the actual end color is, which I believe in this case I do some sort of max value or something like that. I'd have to look, I can't remember. I changed how I wanted to blend animations a few times over the development. But in either case, most of the complexity in the code is handling, when an animation needs to end because it's past its end time, and doing all the housekeeping of, moving things around in memory and keeping indices and counts and, all those stuff that essentially is accounting. That's, I think, is the best way to put it. But in the general case, it goes and asks an animation to return what LEDs it wants with what colors. It does a little bit of gamma correction. I won't go into too much detail for this right now, but basically this is like changing the values a little bit so that the perceived brightness matches better what you think the numbers should be, right? Because the LEDs themselves are not very linear in terms of how they represent the colors. So anyway, it's like, massaging some of the data, and then it basically shoves the color in, a little array of all the colors for all the LEDs for this die. So in the case of the D20, for it's a 20, an array with 20 elements in it, and it goes and puts all the colors, right? And so it does this, it has its sort of like a little stack of color, and then for each animation it asks, hey, what colors you want, and then it goes puts them there. If there's already a value in there, basically it does the blending that I mentioned, and it just goes iterates all the animations. And then eventually it will just send the final array of colors, right, to the LEDs. And this is basically where we're going to apply the brightness. You can tell here, for instance, there's like a specific thing already for fading LEDs. This, if I recall correctly, I think it was if you play the same animation but on a different face, is that right? Or on the same face, I can't remember, but if you trigger the same animation twice, it will decide to sort of like quickly fade out the previous one and start the new one instead of just sort of like turning it off or having things turn like over bright. I don't know if that makes a ton of sense, but it's a specific case for like, especially when you're grabbing a die and shaking it and it plays basically, you know, the same patterns over and over and over, for it to not just go white, because otherwise, you know, it would just like have the same pattern like triggering all the time. But it's kind of an indication of what we're going to do here, right? Which is we're going to grab the brightness value and then apply it to all the colors. The easiest code to do this is going to be right here, right after we've gone through. Let me sort of collapse this, right? After we've gone through all the current animations, right before we're about to send the values to the LEDs, we'll apply the brightness. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to, you know, half the brightness. I don't want gamma. This is not what I'm wanting to do, but I just want to do, what's my function? Modulate, I believe. Is it mul or modulate? I can't remember. Yeah. Modulate, and then there is no such thing as brightness here. We'll have to go fetch that data. But basically, let's say if I wanted it to be half, I believe the modulate takes it takes an intensity in 0 to 5.5. Okay, cool. So let's say I had a brightness here, you know, oops. Like, so if I said I wanted it to be, I don't know, 16, and this, you know, fetch from profile, please. But for now we're not. Then this would modulate the color, basically multiply it, you know, to reduce its intensity. So let me just run it as this and see if it's working, and then we'll figure out how to go fetch the brightness from the profile and apply it. So while this is happening, let me look at my screen here. Done. And let's go edit. All right, so this brightness is not going to matter, but if I send it over and I trigger the animation, I don't know if it's coming through on camera, but it's actually significantly dimmer. Let me actually change it to, I don't know, like 4. So we can really see the difference. Yeah, see, it's barely, there's not enough levels. 4 is just so low that it stair steps to the different colors. So that kind of sucks. But anyway, but it's working, right? So the brightness is doing something. So let's now try to go fetch it from the behavior. And, oh, interesting, Power Manager, get brightness. No, there is no such thing. So this is Copilot again, being, trying to be too smart. There is no, that function doesn't exist. But I want to know if I can fetch the current behavior. And I believe all I need to do, actually, it's in the data set. That's what we call behavior in here for no reason. Data set data. Is it? Wait, where is this? Data set. Oh yeah, there's a member. I have to go get current data set, right? I can't remember how that works. Data set. Wait. That's an animation instance. That's not what I'm looking for. Where's my data set? Data set. There we go. Data set. Where is it? Oh, data. Data set data. Yes. So if I have get rule, get action, get condition. Oh, right. I hide the data member, don't I? Okay. So then I'll just add an accessor, brightness. U8T, get brightness. Oh, love it. And then let's go implement it. Data set size, all this stuff. Let's put it before the programming stuff. There we go. There. Oops. And come on, Copilot, come on. No? Hey, look at that. Perfect. Ah, you're so smart. I'm telling you, and Copilot's awesome. Okay, all right, so get brightness. So now we have a brightness, so I can just grab this from the globals, which is nice. And then in the animation controller, data set, get brightness. Why are you not happy? Oh, is it a struct? What? No. Dataset.cpp. Yeah. I don't think you're. I don't think you're correct. Get brightness. Yeah. I don't know why there's a squiggle. Let's make sure. Not a member of dataset? What? Where did I put it? Dataset. Dataset. Oh, wait. Do I need a board config? It's an include issue. No, not board, no. Dataset, thank you. And now, where was my code? Right here. Get brightness is happy. Cool. All right. Let's program it. I know, Kara Fry, it's exactly it. It's like Copilot will spew complete nonsense with utter conviction. And you just have to know that it's, that it's actually not right. But otherwise, it can be extremely awesome. All right, so if I go here and I activate with 100% brightness, we should be back to where we were. And yes, super bright, awesome. And if I scroll all the way down to like 4%, oh wait, it won't work because the bug. If I go to 4%, nope, let's see, there, 13%, and activate on my test board. Yep, it's a lot less bright. And so there we go, it's working. So now, actually, let's try one more thing. Let's go change, oops, no, where is it? Here, more, settings. Let's change the global brightness. Whoa, that was weird. Something going on with the app here. And then this one, so this one, I'll put it back to 100, but the global setting is lower. Activate on my die. And yep, it's also dim. Awesome. And now if I go back here, go to app settings, turn it all the way up. Yeah, that's weird. And oops, and go back to here, edit, and activate. Hopefully, yeah, super bright. Awesome. All right, so that's it. The feature is implemented. This is pretty easy. Let's make a release build. so we can package it, put it in the and program it on a die. So for this, I have a special makefile command to publish a firmware, which is kind of a lie because it's locally published, but it's a release build. Generates the hex files and all that stuff so it can be programmed onto the board. And then, in fact, I will open the JavaScript, app code. I'll do the same. Whoop, too much. There we go. So I can actually use the toolbox to program the die. All right, so let's go back over here. All right, this finished. It generated binaries. We're happy. Let's go find those binaries. Oh, where are they? I'll just do this, binaries. Too many. Okay, they're here, and I want this firmware. I'm going to move it over here for 1 second. I'll switch to the app code, the toolbox. So here we have two apps. We have the toolbox and the Pixels app. But I'm not very comfortable messing and running the debug version of the Pixels app, so I'll just use the toolbox, which is the tool we use in factories, among other things. But anyway, so there's assets, DFU, there we go, DFU files. I will reveal that in Explorer as well. Open, and then I will grab my firmware, put it here, and then I will run, there we go, I will run the toolbox. So this will run on this guy because, I don't know, that's just how my setup is, that I have an Android phone for just running the toolbox. Hey. Again with the passcode. Can you see that? Yeah. Let's kill this. Don't need this. Relaunch the toolbox. You should see the screen refresh. Hello. Opening an Android. There we go. It's refreshing. So this is done over here. Grab that. How does the global brightness setting and the profile brightness setting combine? Yes, it is completely multiplicate. That's a hard word. It's a multiply. Yeah. We could find another solution. It's just as easy to do one or the other. There's probably a different way. LEDs. Brightness, light intensity, color accuracy, like those are all like really interesting topics, and I really would love to do a stream on where we actually look at like specifically the correspondence between like RGB values or intensity values and actual perceived intensity. Because for instance, even for the brightness, when you set it to 50%, I already know this, it doesn't feel like it's really 50%, light, but it's not. Yeah, it's not linear. It's a strange, formula, I think, and it's and because of that, color representation is also kind of affected, right? Because when you think you have only 10% of a color, well, in reality, it's more like 25% red, right? Like if you think you have 10% red in your color, but in reality it's kind of shining about with 25% brightness in the red. It kind of affects the way the colors show, or the way you see them in real life compared to like the RGB values. And so it's something I would love to tackle more for the color representation of the pixels. All right, so let's grab this guy. There he is. Oops, nope, not close the app. let's update. No, that's not it. Is it this guy? Yes. Let's update firmware on this guy. And so this should have the firmware that we just built. You probably can't read it, but it's there. It's telling us it's the right version. Like I said, normally I would put the firmware in the Pixels app and run a debug build of the Pixels app, but it's too complicated for me right now. So I'm using the toolbox. But anyway, so now this guy is updated. So let's see if it worked. Let me start this again. Whoop. Hello. Let's find it. Who are you? It's this guy. Okay. You know what? Let's rename it because that way we'll find it. Let's call it. What are we going to call it? You know what? We'll call it Navton. There we go. 322. Perfect. I just saw your name in chat. So, all right. Okay, so there you are. He's happy. Yep. Cool. All right. Profiles. Let's try it. Let's put this profile on with, let's go all the way down to 7%. Activate on you. And it's happy. Oh, it's so dim. Yeah, you can barely see it. I don't even know if you guys can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Oh my God, camera tracking, I swear. All right, let's try again. Oh wait, no, I gotta close. Let's try again, edit. 100%, activate. There we go, and now, much brighter. So there we go, it's working. Feature implemented. Among other things, we may even have like a per colorway brightness, so that, you know, other dice that are much brighter than this. Oh, actually, let's do that. Let's grab one. Can have their brightness adjusted, because the Onyx is kind of one of the dimmest. Let's grab a clear. Let's see if I can grab a clear. There we go. Oh, I need to program it, so let's do that. There we go, update. Doom, 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 flex. Yes, I'm guessing that some of the changes, yes, are in the Pixel Core Connect JS package, right? Yes. Question for Olivier Zilk in Discord. He may not have pushed it as a package yet. It may just be on the repo, but not actual package. And, oh wait, no, I want to connect. I need to exit the firmware, where is it? Where is it? Validation mode, exit validation mode. There we go. Okay, cool. All right. So now, if I go back here, done, and where's my, hold on. Whoop. Much better, right? So now if I edit, activate on, oh, actually I need to add the die first. Add, there we go. And we're going to name this one. Where am I going to name it? Oh. There we go. Done. The rendering for the clear dies, not so great, but that will improve. All right, so if I go back here, activate on a die, on this die, oops, on this die, full. It is, wait, no, it's dimmer? No. Let me check. Oh, actually, yeah, no, the battery looks pretty good. Where's the battery? 72%, yeah. Okay, sorry, so let's go back over here, edit, activate, this. Yeah, it's definitely dimmer. Yay. Okay, cool. Oops. That UI thing is so strange. There. Actually, I wonder what happens if I just activate from, if I just activate from here. This should take the global brightness, yeah. Yeah, brighter. Okay, cool. All right, well, objective accomplished for today. So I think it's going to be a good time for me to end the stream. I'll try to do more, you know, if people enjoy it, or at least maybe cover different parts of the, you know, the process, doing things, adding things. The next big thing I'd love to do is the, you know, as far as firmware goes, is the improving the roll detection. That could be a very interesting thing. I want to maybe do something related to electronics because people might enjoy that as well. A lot of CAD or things like that. So if you have any thoughts, things you would like to see me do, you know, this would not be as part of a monthly update. Just, you know, I just took this opportunity to do the first stream. It would just be maybe, I don't know, once a week would be nice. Doing some pixel dev work in the future. I definitely want to do more, you know, new product dev on stream. You know, we could do stuff with molds, we could do stuff with resin, although that might be more difficult to film. We can do, like I said, CAD, electronics, all kinds of stuff like that. You know, basically just sharing more about how the dice are made and how we can add, you know, really cool features to them, you know, what crazy cool ideas we can put together for the future, like in future products, you know, and hopefully future streams will be more upbeat because I won't be so disappointed by this you know, the setback, the stupid ink, and it'll just be pure fun for everybody. So yes, let's make a Pixel D 1 million. I mean, so yeah, that's the kind of stuff I would love to do. Also, you know, I don't want to do too soon because clearly we still have so many dice to ship that I wouldn't want to be appear like I'm, you know, focusing on new stuff before everything is finished. But at the same time, you know, there is a point where hopefully it's just a matter of production happening and no more major issues. As UMUP is putting in the chats, thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. You know, stay tuned for updates, things like that. Come visit our Discord, of course. This is where, you know, you can get the latest information. If you have any issues, you know, ask Luna. She'll be happy to help. And I think that's it. Yeah. So thank you for being here for this first dev stream. I hope to see you soon. Bye.